If you're mocking a black cosplayer for cosplaying a character who isn't black, you're just racist. We should banish her to the realm of darkness and despair. It has been almost 2 years since my last cosplay-related r/am I the a-hole video, so it's about time I get back into it. Before we begin, shout out to Lily, you know who you are. Am I the a-hole for getting annoyed that a cosplayer ignored me? Before I even read this, cons are loud, sometimes people just can't hear you. Also, you aren't entitled to conversation with anyone. Sure, it might be considered rude to not engage in small talk, but you don't have to talk to anyone. A few days ago, it was Comic-Con in my city, so there was a bunch of cosplayers on the train. Most of them were amazing, and I complimented a few of them because I absolutely respect the hard work they put into these things. They thanked me, which is basic politeness. At one point, I saw someone in a cosplay I didn't really recognize, so I asked her who she was cosplayed as. She just stared at me as I asked if she was this one character. She ended up turning away and talking to her friend. I didn't interrupt their conversation or anything, so I felt she was being really rude. I always thought if you cosplayed, you would want people to notice and appreciate the hard work you put in, so you would be open to talking. At the very least, she could have nodded or shook her head. Again, it's mentioned before, no one is actually obligated to talk to someone else, and that other person is never owed conversation. Some people are shy, or going to a convention for the first time, or it's their first time cosplaying. Maybe people just don't want to be talked to for whatever reason. There are 2 edits, but first, my initial thoughts are, no a-holes here. You wanted a conversation, she didn't. You didn't have a conversation. I'm assuming you left. It doesn't say you tried to do anything else. You felt annoyed. Okay, that's valid. You can feel annoyed about that. The verdict here is a-hole. Don't know if this is before or after the edits, which I will read now. I realise in retrospect I was being entitled. Nobody owes me anything and I shouldn't have let it get to me. Thanks for your objective comments. We love an OP that learns from their mistakes and grows. And entitled, that was a word I was trying to think of before. I'm a girl, and she wasn't wearing a revealing costume, so she wouldn't have thought I was hitting on her or being creepy. I hope. I also wasn't really trying to start a conversation, I'm just curious about who she was cosplaying as. I'm keeping my verdict. Now let's look at some comments. You're the a-hole. When you start a conversation or offer a compliment, you are requesting their attention. They are not obligated to give it to you. They owe you nothing. Exactly. Whether cosplaying or not, nobody has the right to demand you talk to them if they don't feel like it. Similarly, even if you're polite, you don't have the right to demand people talk to you if they don't feel like it. Don't get annoyed about this. Maybe she had a bad day. Maybe some guys are giving her grief about her cosplay earlier and she's scared you're going to do the same. Maybe she's just super shy or freezing up. Just move on. It's fine. I do agree with all that. This whole interaction wasn't enough to get annoyed over. A-hole just feels like a harsh word for me in this case. No a-holes here. However, you should think differently about cosplay. Many times it's not for attention, and for other people, it's just for themselves. Also, what if she wasn't cosplaying? OP respond, I didn't realise I was being so old-fashioned with how I viewed cosplaying. This is certainly a teachable moment. Also, she was wearing a wig and a lot of makeup, and interacting with other cosplayers, so I just assumed she was. Commenter responds, probably safe to assume she was then. A lot of people cosplay because they think it's fun. My girlfriend and I want to cosplay eventually, but just because we're huge weebs. Fantastic reason to cosplay. Oh my god. Am I the a-hole for telling my girlfriend that her cosplay is incorrect? Me and my girlfriend were going to go to an event in cosplay as a couple. I love couple cosplay. This was a cosplay picnic outside. She was going as a character from a show we like, and I was going as a character the character ends up in a relationship with. Her character is a butler, but hasn't always been that. This is important. I'm curious what show this is. I don't think I have enough information to guess, but we were both going to base our costumes on the movie costumes. There's a movie? We were both going to base our costumes on the movie costumes so that we could match. Her character does not wear white gloves in the movie and hasn't worn them since the first season of the series. White gloves are therefore very inaccurate for this character. Hey, your cosplay doesn't have to match one-to-one. You don't have to be accurate to have fun. You can make changes for your own comfort. Maybe you prefer the outfit being a certain way. You change cosplay to what works for you. You don't have to be 100% accurate to the character. It sounds like you want to be, OP, but it's not a requirement, is what I'm saying. She still made white gloves for her cosplay. I think there is some Mandela effect going on because she swore he wears white gloves in the movie, but he doesn't, and the movie poster clearly shows him without white gloves. I said it's inaccurate and that she shouldn't wear them. A lot of people in our cosplay group are very strict on accuracy, and I was afraid they were going to point it out and make it awkward for her at the picnic, so I would rather point it out to her at home. What does that mean? What do they do if it's inaccurate? Do you get banished from the group? What? Point it out like what? Just be like, oh, by the way, those gloves aren't actually accurate to the type of the character you're trying to portray. Or are they like, the character doesn't wear the gloves. She's so a fake fan. We should banish her to the realm of darkness and despair. Like, what was going to happen? Just an awkward conversation? She got upset with me and says I'm wrong and also always nitpicking. Okay, so girlfriend is doubling down. It's always good to double check the source material because maybe you did remember some detail of the cosplay incorrectly. Like, I keep forgetting that Aizawa actually has this whole section, like, ripped. If you look at the photos, like, this is not a clean seam. And yet so many Aizawa cosplays that I see, even ones trying to be more accurate online, don't actually do that part. And there's nothing wrong with that. But also just double check the source material if someone's telling you something. It's always good when someone's saying, you're wrong about this. Double check, even if you're 100% sure you're correct. Oh, I forgot to address the always nitpicking part. Is it just the cosplay group that's strict on accuracy? Or is OP also strict on accuracy? I said I'm not nitpicking and I'm not wrong, and that butlers shouldn't wear white gloves. She said the brim of my hat is 1 inch too big for the error, and I should focus on that instead. She's a milliner? What on earth is a milliner? A person who makes or sells women's hats? That's so cool! She's a milliner focusing on historical hats. I said the character has a large brim in the movie, and that it's a movie inaccuracy, not an inaccuracy from my side. Oh my god. Sorry, step back for a second. It's just hitting me how petty this argument is. Just let each other cosplay how you want to cosplay. Accuracy doesn't matter, as long as you're having fun. Oh my god. She said she's not going with me to the picnic if I'm going to be at... I said I won't go with her if she's gonna look like an idiot in her white gloves. Yeah, the vibes I'm getting is it's not just the group that's strict on accuracy. OP really wants her girlfriend to be accurate too. She went to the picnic alone. You didn't go to the picnic with her over the gloves? And now she's mad at me and saying I was an a-hole about the situation. Should I have left it alone? Am I the a-hole for criticizing her cosplay? So OP is definitely an a-hole. There is an edit. She sometimes will talk and laugh about other people's costumes, wrong waistlines or materials mostly, if they are wrong, so I thought she was okay with me discussing wrongs with her costume. But now everything got blown out of proportion. I'm gonna talk with her later. Okay, so it's not just the cosplay group that is strict on accuracy, it's you two as well. Oh my god. The verdict is everyone sucks, and based on the edit, yeah, everyone sucks. Everyone sucks here, you both sound extremely unpleasant to be around, and your cosplay group sounds elitist. Everyone sucks here, you sound like children, cosplay is supposed to be a fun representation of characters/shows we enjoy. Exactly. Unless you've got a cartoon head, you'll never be accurate. Am I the a-hole for defending a new cosplayer from my friends mocking? No. Hold on, I'm actually gonna read this. Am I the a-hole for telling my friends to stop being rude to a cosplayer as they were clearly new? So my friends were mocking this one cosplayer for being new and not looking like the character. Harvey Harvington? Sorry. Harvey Harvington reference? Harvey Harvington? My beloved from Blood Money? That Harvey Harvington? Searching for new posts was definitely worth it. Harvey Harvington mention. Yes. Normally he's white with light purple curly hair, but this cosplayer was black. So it's just racism. You can cosplay any character you want, regardless of their race, gender, height, weight, proportions, literally anything about their physical appearance. This is a huge problem in the cosplay community, where people get judged, mocked, or discriminated against for not exactly looking like their character. And I've mostly seen it happen to cosplayers that are people of colour or overweight cosplayers. There is nothing wrong with cosplaying a character that looks different from you, and it's not something you should be judged for. It's just people using, oh, it's not accurate to the character, as an excuse to discriminate against other people. If you're mocking a black cosplayer for cosplaying a character who isn't black, you're just racist. But this cosplayer was black, no judgment, in a not styled wig, and was female. Okay, so they also don't like cosplaying as a different gender. Just cosplay what you want and stop judging other people for cosplaying what they want. Oh my god. Also, who cares if their wig isn't styled? I started wearing cosplays with unstyled wigs. So many currently professional cosplayers, or cosplayers you consider having very high expertise in the area, started with unstyled wigs. It's a stepping stone. Or maybe it's where people want to stay. Wig styling is a whole complete different skill set, and it's not one that everyone wants to acquire, and not one that anyone needs to acquire. Other people don't have to cosplay to your standards. They were making jokes about them being like Michael Jackson changing races. Are you all teenagers? This just sounds like high school bullying. Oh, and racism. It also sounds like racism. Also making jokes about the wig being unstyled. And I mentioned that they were going too far, as they were essentially mocking this new cosplayer. One friend I've known for 2 years, let's call him Jay. Well, Jay started to just ignore me for the rest of the class. Okay, this is school. And my other friend, let's call them B, didn't say anything, not knowing what to say. So am I the a-hole for not siding with my friends? I really hope your friends grow into better people. Not the a-hole. Not in the slightest the a-hole. Not the a-hole, your friends are being both racist and also vaguely classist. Not everyone is able to afford high quality cosplay wigs and other parts of the wardrobe. The Michael Jackson comment is rude towards people who have vitiligo, and completely uncalled for to make about a black woman cosplaying a lighter skinned character. It's nice that you called it out. Cosplay is supposed to be fun and open to all without judgment. Exactly. Not the a-hole, you need new friends. Yeah, that's the vibes I'm getting. It is time for the final story. And this one sounds like a real doozy, so buckle up, I guess. Am I the a-hole for telling my cousin she wasn't being cyberbullied after calling out racist cosplay? I have a younger cousin. She's 20. For reference, we are both Chinese Americans who grew up in the US. Her parents had bad English, so they relied on her to translate a lot as a kid. This gave her a huge ego growing up, since she had so much control over her parents, and in my opinion turned her super arrogant. She had no friends growing up because she was so unlikable and controlling. We tolerated her at family gatherings, but she was a brat and would cry out and scream if we didn't play what she wanted to play. Since she was the youngest, our parents forced us to go along with her. I hoped going to college would fix her. Since she'd be away from her parents, but she only got into community college and lived at home. I really hoped transferring to an actual college would give her a chance to grow up. But then COVID, so now she's doing year 3, still at home. Anyways, my aunt recently called us saying that she was upset and claiming to be cyberbullied. Our parents aren't super good with technology, so all they know are horror stories about cyberbullying victims. So they asked me, since I'm closest in age to her, to talk to her and figure out what's happening. Turns out she made a joke about how white people who cosplay Asian characters are racist and perpetuating yellowface. And she topped it all off by pulling pictures of random white cosplayers and calling them out. I will repeat this again and again. Cosplay is for everyone. The post got traction and a bunch of people started pointing out how this was incorrect and in general disagreeing with her, as they should. She immediately accused everyone who disagreed with her of being racist. And she was Chinese, so she had final say. Then Chinese people from Asia disagreed with her. And she started talking about how they don't count because they aren't Chinese Americans and don't have to experience life as a minority. What? And then other Chinese Americans disagreed with her. And she started talking about how this was her personal feeling, so there. I was like, okay, so where's the bullying? And there wasn't. It was literally people just commenting, telling her she's wrong, or messaging her and telling her she's wrong. Some with varying levels of civility. If anyone's sending her death threats, I can see why she would consider this cyberbullying. It doesn't say that, but I don't know just how uncivil these messages get. But apparently she was so distressed by people disagreeing with her, she locked her account to followers only, and made this dramatic post about how she's taking a break to protect her mental health. I mean, it's your account, do what you want with it. I flat out told her she wasn't being cyberbullied. Her mental health problems come from experiencing shame and embarrassment for the first time in her life, and that she should just stop doubling down, remove her post, apologise for being wrong, and this will all blow over in 2 weeks. Internet drama does move pretty fast. for better or worse. And of course she screamed at me, hung up, and my aunt was like, what the hell? I tried explaining to her, but she didn't get it, and just told me I should have just gone along with it, like when we were kids. Parents and cousins' parents, you are not facilitating a very healthy relationship between your children. And of course my parents are mad at me because I was supposed to make her feel better, not worse. I do not like these parents. Edit. No, they were not using yellow makeup or eye tape. Literally, if a white person dressed up as an Asian character, it was yellowface. So, obviously not the a-hole. And the verdict is not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. Girl needs a dose of reality to grow up. She's the kind of person that gives arguments against racism a bad name. Oof. Not the a-hole. Looks like your cousin has finally learnt that the earth revolves around the sun, not her. Some of the comments that we're reading today have been brutal. It's so good. And that is all we have time for today. Thank you for watching, and have a good day. You deserve it.